Now we're gonna do the hatching, then some highlights, and then... Oh, the doorbell. Let me see who it is.
A few moments later.
So you're not gonna believe what just happened. Someone left this box out my doorstep and there is a freaking monster inside. No, I'm serious. Let me show you. You have to see this. Oh, look how cute he is. His name is Cracker. So here's the deal, guys. With every 100 subscribers, I'm gonna be feeding Cracker one cracker, and let's see how big he can get. Or, if you want to see Cracker grow really big, become a channel member, and I will feed him 10 whole crackers. Whoa, relax, I'm gonna feed you. Subscribe. So the first submission is from the user, "Hi, my name is William." Hello, William, who is also a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much for your support. Let's get drawing your monster. Let's go. If we take a look at this monster design, William, you have drawn this monster with two heads. Fun fact, I have never drawn a monster with two heads. I usually prefer a more symmetrical monster design. But you're the boss here, I'm here to execute your vision. Let's see how it turns out. Now that we have a clear outline for this monster, we're gonna move on to the rendering, hatching, highlighting, all that good stuff. By the way, guys, William included some information along with his design, so let's read it. Monster submission, project A289. By the way, I'm 11. Location, forest, rivers and the sea. Height, 14 meters. Length, 20 meters. Was created in a lab. Love your videos. You know, you draw really good for being 11. Definitely better than me when I was 11, so great job. When you guys submit your monsters, I usually see them in a flat profile view, which is okay because I can clearly see your monster design. But in this case, I try to give it a more dynamic pose just to make it feel more alive, you know, with a bit of movement. I know many of you have been dying to learn what these balls are at the end of the monster's tongues. Well, there is an explanation for it, but it's in the manga, so read the manga. Now that we have the tongues ready, we're gonna do some highlights and the illustration is gonna be complete. And the illustration is finally done. This monster turned out great. I love it when you guys submit simple sketches for my reference because it's a challenge sometimes to turn them into amazing scary illustrations. Great job, let's see the monster. Now let's pick a monster from the monster wheel. So you guys know the drill, the wheel decides what we're gonna draw next. Let's do it. Ooh, lucky. And our next monster is from the user Wanderer17 from our YouTube community. He submitted a sort of parasite, and I have to tell you a story about parasites because, spoilers, I hate them with all my heart. Let's get into it. So here's my story about my encounter with a parasite. So I have a cat. It's a big cat. He likes hunting for birds. So one day he came back home with a bird in his mouth. So I didn't want the meat to go to waste, if you know what I mean, and I wanted to honor my cat. So I prepared the bird and then I threw it in the pan. So, you know, the bird was ready to be consumed and I started eating it. I seasoned it well and it was quite tasty. But the thing is, I took a look inside its belly and that's when I saw it. I saw them. There was many of them. White things like strings. I thought it was cheese because I put a little bit of cheese in there, you know? But no, that wasn't the cheese. It was them, the parasites. You can imagine my horrifying reaction after I saw that. I ran to the bathroom and I decided to empty the contents of my belly right into the toilet. And that was my encounter with the parasites. So drawing this, really really takes me back. Okay, forget anything I said. Let's talk about this parasite right here. So while I'm drawing, I'm gonna read you some information that Wanderer 17 included for this parasite. I'm gonna paraphrase a bit so we can go over everything. Here we go. This parasite lives alone in dense forests near cities, hiding underground or inside ruined buildings. It avoids others of its kind and only attacks when starving or when its territory is disturbed. Its body is lined with venomous skin and spikes, and a tail injector paralyzes the nervous system, keeping victims unaware. It enters through the back, testing the host's nutrients. If the body is unsuitable, it feeds briefly and leaves the host to not live anymore. If compatible, it anchors along the spine, feeds for several days, and then it pierces the skull and consumes the brain, getting partial access to memory and behavior. The host's body gradually mutates, becoming stronger, paler, and more predatory, continuing to hunt humans by ambush. Direct contact is extremely dangerous, but the parasite cannot survive long without the host in cold conditions. This is way more disturbing than the parasite I hate from the bird. I hate parasites. And the illustration is complete. Another monster enters the world of Tomahawk Angel. Good job, Wanderer 17. This came out really terrifying. I think this parasite is gonna be the nightmare of many people. This next illustration is coming from a channel member. Metallic Scotic has been a super active member of our community and drawing many fun arts. So to thank Metallic Scotic, I'm gonna pick their illustration for the last drawing. So let's see what the monster is for this last illustration. Oh, there are actually two monsters and they're married. Yeah, you heard that right, they're married. Two married monsters wearing clothes. This is gonna be interesting. While I'm illustrating this drawing, Metallic Scotic has written a very intriguing story about these two, which we're gonna read right now. There was once a pair of lovers who planned to be wedded in the apocalypse. They had no fear of the Exos, the monsters, as the only thing they loved more than each other was the Great Mother Queen. They chose a grand wedding venue overlooking the Great Mother in the distance and said their vows. But that very night, after they put their hands on one another and began to waltz, they never stopped slow dancing again. To this day, they remain in the very same ballroom, now deformed loyalists eternal. Their hands and bodies have fused, bonding them together forever, but they continue their dance regardless. Still wearing the same tattered wedding clothes, they pay no heed to visitors, though humans who draw too close may be swiftly cut down by the organic claws spinning from their backs, which seem to have minds of their own. Their dance is always slow and graceful, though whenever the queen lets out a great roar, they spin with a silent, malicious glee. This was the most romantic story I've ever read. But all jokes aside, this backstory was very deep and interesting. It really gives you a different perspective when you look at these monsters. It makes you appreciate them more. So from the backstory, I understand that these two are very skilled and gracious dancers. After all, they've been dancing forever, right? So I chose a dancing pose that's a bit more complicated to really express their love and passion for dancing. Now we're gonna continue with the rendering because we need to make these two look as pretty as possible. After all, they're newlyweds. And we're done! Metallic Scotic did an amazing job delivering a strong submission with a detailed backstory that really helps you understand these two monsters and what they've been through. It genuinely makes them feel like a part of a much larger universe, one that all of us are trying to build together. And we are building the greatest monster universe on the internet. So that's it guys, if you want your monster design to be featured in the next video, make sure to leave your submission in the Tomahawk Angel subreddit or in the YouTube community, and don't forget, channel members always have priority. So if you want to support the channel and help keep the series going, consider becoming a member and you will be featured in the next video. Leave a like, subscribe, and remember, every 100 subscribers, we feed one cracker to Cracker. And if you want to see monsters like this in action, you can read the manga Tomahawk Angel, which I wrote and illustrated, published by Dark Horse Comics. It's available on Amazon and bookstores. See you next time. I want to thank everyone who submitted a monster design, and especially a huge thanks to all our supporters, because they keep the channel going. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much. I will see you all next time.